So my baby, who is 6 months old, is like in a sleep strike. She has always been a really good sleeper, and for the last 2 months now, she's been really bad at sleeping. So I have found myself up in the middle of the night when my mind is racing, and it's going to the next weeks, months, years, and I've noticed that I've been telling myself these stories in my head. So I wanted to pass on this little nugget for you this weekend, that so much of the suffering that we endure is because of thinking about the future, of worry about the worst possible thing that's going to happen. And I have been perfecting this technique of worrying about the worst possible outcome for my entire life. So my brain is really, really good at it. So when I'm up in the middle of the night with my baby and all I'm thinking is, I'm never going to sleep again. She's never going to sleep again. She's not going to be healthy. Probably she's going to die. And then I'm going to die, and then everyone's going to die. And that's where my brain is going, completely off the deep end. So I'm sitting there in the moment, in the middle of the night, when my baby isn't crying, she's calming down. Everything is okay for the life that I'm living right now, where I have a 6-month-old who likes to be up sometimes in the middle of the night. But my brain is a year from now thinking that I'm completely sleep deprived for a year. I haven't slept for all that time, and I'm completely miserable. And then I get back to bed and my baby is now asleep and my mind can't shut off. And I'm thinking about all the worst case scenarios and how awful it is. And then my other kids are going to wake up, and my mind is completely taken over when I'm in my bed, completely able to sleep, and I can't because my mind is racing. So this is not a new thing for me. This is something that I have done my whole life. I just never paid attention to it, and I never really looked at it as an observer of what is going on in my life live. So if this happens to you, the one thing I want to tell you is that you're not alone. I feel like so many of us do this, and it happens for a lot of us at night. If it's not in the middle of the night, if you have children who sleep, or if you don't have children and you can sleep as much as you want, then maybe it happens when you fall, when you are trying to go to sleep, or maybe it happens for you first thing in the morning. But for many of us, it's happening throughout the day at some time. And when your brain gets into this habit, which it's going to do because it's trying to prepare you for the worst case scenario, your primitive brain works off of fear. It's hard to get back control if you don't realize that you can separate yourself from your thoughts. So what's been working for me is becoming an observer of my thoughts instead of feeling all the things that my thoughts are offering me. So instead of feeling the anxiety that's coming from the thoughts, from the worst case scenario, I'm separating. I'm putting I think of putting a wedge in there and wedging myself and saying, I'm not the thoughts that I'm having, I'm observing them. And I just feel what's going on in my body. And I feel where the anxiety is. For me, it's in my chest and my stomach. And I just let it be there. I just let it live there for a little bit. I don't give any judgment. I just let it live there, and it passes. So that's been really helpful for me the last few weeks while I've been up in the middle of the night. I am going to talk about worry in a Facebook Live in my group later on in this week on Wednesday. I guess it's technically next week because today's Saturday. And I'm also going to be offering a group, a live coaching call for anyone who's interested. It's completely open to anybody, and I'll coach you on anything. But in particular, if you want to talk about something that you worry about, or when you notice your worry, you can, there's my baby over there, you can come on, and I'll provide that Zoom link for you. You don't need to RSVP. It's going to be Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And we'll do a little bit of coaching and give you, hopefully I can help you out a little bit. All right, everybody, have a great weekend.